is our second season and our eighth episode, Arsenal versus Bournemouth. Good morning, afternoon, evening, all Gooners around the world. And I'm joined as usual by my co-host, Mahir Abrams from Gundit News. How are you feeling?
Wow. 3 points. All that matters. You can say what you want about no beautiful football, no this person, no that person. 3 points. And we're going to the international break on a good run of form.
On a good note, better 1-0 win than a 1-0 defeat any day of the week,
Mm.
especially when you have to wait 15 days, I think it is, till our next game away to Sheffield United.
And it's going to be a late game, eh? Apparently, it's only going to be on in South Africa at about 9 o'clock. So, yeah, guys, we're going to have to wait quite a bit. And we're going
You
to have to
know,
wait the weekend and then the
it's
Monday.
what's kind of frustrating, Mar, here is you kind of sit through Saturday games and even Sunday, and you're trying to you watch other teams jump above us in the table. But now I think we're starting to separate a little bit from those teams. Initially, the first 5 or 6 games were all pretty compacted together, but we're starting to separate a little bit now. But we have to wait Saturday through Sunday till Monday for the next game. So very
Yep.
important to get 3 points today.
What are your thoughts on the football?
We'll get into that in a minute. I just wanted to tell everybody, smash that like button, subscribe and share if you're new around here, and really does help the channel to grow and pushes up the suggested videos. We want to be one of those suggested videos.
Yeah, your host and your co-host suggested.
So let's go on to the first topic first. First topic first. Wouldn't be the first topic second, right? The title race. Mayor, is it too early to ordain Liverpool as champions?
Yeah.
What was the point difference they had last year?
Wasn't it that? I think it was 1 point, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
in the end, but they were 7 or 8 points ahead,
8 points.
or was
About
it
8 points.
10? About eight
I
points
think,
last season,
yeah,
and
about.
it's true. Liverpool are getting the decisions to go their way. Those small, minor decisions that go your way here and there. Manchester City are struggling defensively, especially. Wolverhampton Wanderers came in and took 3 points from them at home.
Which is crazy if you think about that. The smaller teams, this is why we don't get ahead of ourselves, because the old teams, the teams of the olden days, the golden era, basically, those teams were feared. They were real giants. Good evening to you, Richard. Thank you for tuning in with us. We just catching up on today's game versus Bournemouth. Raymond and myself, and to everybody in the chats. Konnichiwa, assalamu alaikum, good evening, good morning in some parts of the world, and yeah, we're just catching up.
Um, so Liverpool seem to detach themselves a little bit from the rest of the league now. Is it 7 or 8 points now they're ahead?
Seven.
I think 7. It's kind of pulled this result with Manchester City has kind of pulled them into the chasing pack a little bit. One of that chasing pack is us. We're in third place. I think 2 points behind them right now. Do you think it's possible we could, in our best season, get second place?
Oh, I thought you were gonna say title, but like
No, we're
it's
not winning the title. We all know that, right?
not really winning the title, but like chasing, trying to chase, second place. I think it's very possible with the squad that we have. Not the defensive minded people, although sometimes they may put up a performance. But I'm talking about like the young generation, the hungry guys. They love this thing so much. It's like I couldn't give a damn whether you like me or not. I'm going to give my absolute all for this badge that's here. Because how did they say? Play for the name on the front, and people won't forget the name on the back.
It now, my here, it struck me that Bournemouth came to the Emirates with the mindset that we went to Old Trafford with, not to lose the game or to keep the game tight.
We didn't
When
have enough time to just go gung ho. And I mean, all that really mattered is the 3 points, but I would have loved everybody to get their confidence levels up. I mean, you're not, I personally, if I was in the squad, how would I feel as a striker or in the back knowing Granit Xhaka is standing in front of me?
yeah,
No cover, but Granit Xhaka is covering me.
the the uh, the notes I have are Emery's favourites. They seem to be David Luiz, Granit Xhaka, and Matteo Guendouzi
And Socrates as well.
and Socrates. But I think his favourites in particular, he's had David Luiz at PSG. Uh, he seems to like something about Granit Xhaka that Arsene Wenger liked. We don't know what at this point. And I thought Matteo Guendouzi had a very, very good game in the second half in particular. He grew into the game again. He can be that possibly that pressing midfielder.
He could possibly be. I just feel I would love for them to continue the consistency to a point where we can confidently say, put Guendouzi in there. There's no problems. To be honest with you, even today's game, I didn't really, I felt at ease. I didn't really feel threatened, but I was at the same
Uh,
time thinking, well,
uh, there was a couple of times where I felt like biting my nails. So hanging on to a 1-0 lead, and we did give up a couple of chances toward the end. Not gilt edge chances, but a chance right at the end where if the striker had hit either side of Bernd Leno, then we would have been in danger. You know?
yeah, but luckily enough, there's enough solidarity at the back with David Luiz and Socrates. But you see, Richard, the second half of the game today was boring and poor. We were too laid back in the second half. We should have killed it off. That's exactly how I think. That's exactly how you think, if I'm
Yeah,
not mistaken.
yeah.
How
I
did we
think
go?
unfortunately Aubameyang did not have enough support today.
Where was the service?
Where
No
was the
customer
service?
service. No customer service at all.
No customer service for Pierre. Unfortunately, it was tough for Pepe to get into the game, and Saka found it a little bit difficult as well.
I mean, at the same time, you bringing Gabriel Martinelli on, I think, at 70th minute. Once again, Emery is making super late subs
He did a
that can't have.
60th minute for Martinelli,
Come on,
which
Ray.
somebody mentioned that in the comments of the pregame. They called it exactly right. I think it might have been Stephen Denham said that what you watch, they'll bring
Stephen Dennis,
Martinelli on after 60 minutes. So they found it
he was
tough
spot
going.
on.
Martinelli tried, and uh, and then good to see Joe Willock coming on as well.
But what I'm saying is, you need a dynamic midfield. You know our lineup that we set pre-game, um, which was those youngsters, Willock in the middle. It brings you dynamism
Yeah,
because if you're putting Torreira on, for example, and you're putting Joe Willock next to him, Joe Willock is the type that will feed Ceballos, and Ceballos will be the one that feeds on that energy, that running, paciness, dribbling, always wanting to beat the man. They feed off each other. Now, like I'm saying, if I was in the squad, You seen Granit Xhaka standing in front of you. London Old School saying wasn't pretty, but 3 points.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's come down to. That's how
Yeah.
urgent 3 points was needed. That
Yeah. I
nobody's really
mean,
paying attention to anything.
especially with results yesterday. I kind of was hoping Leicester would beat Liverpool or take some points out of them to draw them back into the pack a little bit. But Liverpool won, somewhat controversially for me. I don't think that was a penalty. We can get into that whole VAR thing if you want to. Why is the VAR panel not overturning these situations? And speak about the penalty shout that we had in the first half as well, Mahir.
Makes absolutely no sense. Because here's what happened. The incident happened. They said penalty. So so anyway, they're putting it on the screen. I'm thinking, okay, VAR. So VAR is going to see this clip, and the referee's decision is going to be overturned. But it happened the other way around. The referee didn't see it. They put it on VR, but he still overturned the decision. Which, in these kind of circumstances, it doesn't. This is why we hate VAR. But
Yeah,
it
it's
brings. I'm sure you
it's
remember episode that we did with Alex, and Alex and myself were saying scrap VAR, scrap it. Put it in
yes,
cup
and
competition, all the cup
Alex,
competitions.
I think Alex is going to come in later. But let me ask you this question: go to the Liverpool penalty that was given for Mane and the penalty that was not given for Pepe today. Which is more of a clear-cut penalty to you, without being
I didn't,
biased?
I didn't see the money one to be honest with you.
Okay,
Uh,
so the Mane one is um, the Leicester player had the ball. He went past the goalkeeper. He's there in the edge of the 6 yard area, and Mane gets his body in the way and is in control of the ball. There is a the defender's foot, Albrighton, I think it is, puts his foot on the toe of Mane. But for me, it's contact, but it's not enough contact to stop Mane from moving in the box. And Mane falls like a sack of potatoes. And
uh,
the call on the field is it's a penalty. But I felt sure the VAR would overturn that.
was there any budge? Was it just a slight contact, like like a stand on the
It was
toe?
it was a step on the toe, the actual big toe.
Did he win the ball first? Did he win any part of the ball?
No, he didn't win the ball.
So just a thread on the foot is not
Yeah,
enough. I can already
yeah.
tell you without seeing it, that's not
And it
enough.
wasn't a tread on the foot that was going to stop him from being able to move in the box. You
You
know?
see, this is where it comes in, Ray. You've got two sets of fans, two sets of VAR going away. From Dow Square to where we already know who it is. Our guy. How are you, brother?
Yeah, everyone, take a look at Richard on Arsenal TV on YouTube. Take a look at him. Subscribe to his channel. Take a look at Andrew from Dial Square to Where, also on YouTube, and
Yeah.
have a look at his channel. Subscribe if you like the content. But Pepe did a really nice step over in the box and progressed the ball, and the player clearly took him out for a penalty. The call on the
Clearly.
field was no penalty. So is VAR just going to back up what these referees are doing on the field?
You see, that's where the two complaint is. You either scrap it and put it in cup competitions, or in most cases, to be honest with you, it's cases like this where you have to make a decision. If a ref calls, a ref is not sure, he's calling VAR, we can all quite clearly see that it's a penalty. So the referee shouldn't be allowed to overrule that because that could be called being biased. Do you understand? Then
Yeah.
what's the point of having VAR? If the
Uh,
ref is just gonna look at the screen, we can all clearly see it's a penalty. Everybody and their grandmothers, grandparents, great grandmothers, and ancestors know it's a penalty. But the ref can say, "What is that? Overruled, overruled my decision. Overruled. That's not a penalty."
I want to see VAR overruling a referee who's clearly made a mistake, and that has not happened yet.
We're waiting. That's why there's VAR to
That's why
correct,
VAR is in place.
to properly, so that no team gets cheated out of something. I don't get cheated out of 3 points because we could have maybe kicked on from 2-0. Maybe we score a penalty. That's penalty is given. We go 2-0. The confidence is high. We go 3-0. The confidence is even higher.
Yeah,
Maybe they need to get an one goal and it becomes like a
yeah,
4-0, 4-0, 5-0, more convincing. But it
exactly
takes
right.
away.
Exactly right. We get that penalty decision, we score, we're 2-0 up in the first half, and we go on to have a pretty easy game. Now, we did hang on quite well for the 1-0 win, but you would like to improve your
Yeah.
goal difference at some point.
At some point, come on. I mean, Aubameyang, like you said, was given no service, no customer service at all. So he's phoning the line like these guys are poor.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
seriously, Emery, like you're the boss here. You're supposed to be in charge. Don't you know your staff?
Okay, Andrew, crap second half, once again, pretty dominant first half, and second half pretty poor and hanging on. That's true, we were hanging on a little bit. They had a couple of sights at goal, a couple of chances that if they go either side of Leno, uh, we're either looking for a really, really good save or we're conceding a goal.
That was the only time I actually had a heart attack. When it was kicked straight at Leno. That's the only time my heart literally skipped because I was like, he goes
Yeah.
left or he goes right,
Yeah.
and we're in big trouble. Then we go 1-1, and we know what happens from a 1-1 mostly.
So, Mahir, are we in the right position in the league right now for you? They always
Uh,
say they always say your league position doesn't lie at the end of the season, but right now, what do you think? We're sitting pretty in third.
I believe we belong right now. We kind of
We
deserve this.
deserve
Deserve a three.
because we have dropped points this season.
We as fans deserve three. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, for once a clean sheet as well. We didn't concede.
Again, another one. DJ Khaled voice, another one, and another
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
I mean,
So what's the problem with the coach really is his selection policy of always seeming to include Granit Xhaka and David Luiz, especially for me. But we have seen the coach
um,
understand what Willa can do, what Martinelli can do, in coming on in the second half.
let me. Yes, we have seen that. I'm sure our coach sees it as well. But one day he's going to learn a very big lesson in humility and basically sucking in your pride because that's what he's doing. He's he's literally using his pride as an excuse to be playing. Uh, you can have a captain, right? I got
Hmm.
nothing against Granit Xhaka. Well, I do actually, but that's not the point. Right now, the players have chosen Granit Xhaka as captain. We can have a captain and still poop, and he can still be on the bench. Why does he have to play? Just because he
Yeah,
is captain.
yeah.
I was going to say this to you because we talk on a regular basis, about life, about football, everything. But I don't understand that. What is it called? Um, you feel obligated. Yeah, you feel obligated because you're a captain that you have to play every single game. Every single game you have to be and you have to play the full 90. It doesn't make any sense. You're not obligated to nothing. This is a team sport. We are the Arsenal. We are not the Xhaka or yeah.
The
That's
Granite
what
Granite
that's it.
FC.
Granite FC. We're not Granite FC. Sideways, backwards FC. Um, Most fouls as a midfielder ever. FC.
Did you see that
That
foul in? Did you see that foul in the first half where he just stood still like a statue, and the player nipped past him? He had to take him down. Didn't get a yellow card and didn't deserve a yellow card, but still, it shows his lack of mobility. Now, this thing about Granit Xhaka, I understand that he is one of the best trainers on the field when Arsenal train. He has respect amongst the other players. This is what I'm hearing, but he is trained. What kind of training is Arsenal doing? Are they really like running past midfielders in training? To make Granit Xhaka look good and to be nominated in the dressing room by his fellow professionals as captain.
hey, doesn't make any sense, bro. You know that with Homer going into the you know, until he, that, that's how I feel every time Emery makes a decision that puts more pressure on him. Another point being that me and you were discussing this the other day. It's a very tricky situation. Emery's putting pressure on himself. Um, Bante FC's coach is putting pressure on himself. And whoever cracks first, there is Allegri available. But do we really want to be starting again from scratch? Because any coach that comes in is going to require money, first of all. So that's backing by the board.
Yeah,
New players. He's going to want to remove a lot of players that, even if you just in somebody like, say, for instance, Dani Ceballos, Allegri comes in and says, I don't want Ceballos. I do not want Torreira. I do not want this one. I do not want that one. And it's back to the drawing board, back to square one,
yeah,
square
yeah.
one. And things get
Um,
worse.
okay, so we are what 8 games into the season?
Yeah.
8 games into the season. We're getting close to the quarter point of the season, and the league placings are settling down. We have Liverpool in first place. We have Manchester City in a shaky second place. But then you have Arsenal, Leicester, and Chelsea in that order. Are we fighting amongst Leicester and Chelsea for top four?
Let's take out one team who lost yesterday, our rivals. Right? Let's take them out. They totally out of the equation. Move on.
Yeah,
Move on.
the those who shall not be named, because their form
Exactly.
is relegation form. And let's talk about the media not picking up on them. They have only drawn 2 games in their last 10 away games, I believe. They've only drawn 2 away from home. And one of those was at the Emirates. That is very poor form away from home. So the narrative needs to shift from Arsenal's away form to Tottenham's away form.
Look, they're never going to accomplish it. I don't care what you say. You can say, second place finished, Champions League run-ups, this and that, this and that. Poch is going to leave them. He's going to have a worse time at whatever other club he goes to, which is apparently going to be Bante FC. Ericsson is probably going to leave. Harry Kane is probably going to leave. I would have given a shout to us to get somebody like Son as a third striker or fourth striker with Martinelli. Uh, but these are all my personal opinions, guys. It's just something funny to think about. Those are the only players I rate, basically.
Okay, so I want Pochettino. I want Pochettino to stay in. Okay,
I also want him watch in, actually.
so let's do a little segment. I'm gonna go on Twitter and search Poch out and see
What the
what
people are
those
saying.
Tottenham supporters are saying. Right?
They ain't saying nothing. Dust.
Hi, Alex.
Oh, Look
Evening,
who it
lads.
is.
Evening. My here, Ray.
My guy. What it do,
How
Alex?
are you guys? Okay.
Yeah,
Good.
we're
We were
doing
just
good.
basking in the glory of a Pochettino masterclass yesterday.
It was something to behold. Something to behold, wasn't it?
Yeah, he really does well in dramatic uh, downfalls of his team.
Yeah. What can I say? What can I say?
Well, we'll cover
So, what are
this
we talking
section
about?
later.
Yeah.
Tell me about you went to the Emirates today, Alex.
Yeah, I did. I went there with a lot of anticipation that we would have probably beaten them. I think my prediction was 3-1. I think it was. And I just kind of, when I went to the Emirates, it felt like there's a lot of tension. It was a little bit flat because we saw the 11. Of
Yep,
course, yeah, Granit Xhaka was in the midfield again.
our esteemed
I think it
leader,
was sorry.
our esteemed leader, our midfield maestro.
Yeah, the maestro. Yeah. Anyway, and then yeah, there was talk that we thought that Tierney would have started and maybe he would have probably been subbed, but Tierney didn't get any minutes
Yep.
today. But to be honest, it was a performance where the points was more important than the performance.
At
That's all I
what
can say,
point,
really.
Alex? At what point in the stadium did the nerves start to come in the second half, having a 1-0 lead?
Actually, from the first minute, because Bournemouth came out the second half out of the blocks very quickly. It was so
Yep.
obvious that they went up a few gears, and we were caught out quite a few times. And it appeared that Arsenal didn't really have like we were lost for ideas, really lost. And I know they had like quite a few chances, and yeah, we kind of lost our way in the second half, right up until the last minute where we were putting pressure on ourselves. We couldn't clear the ball. We couldn't like. I mean, I know Aubameyang, he was just feeding on scraps. But
Yes.
yeah, the last 5 minutes it was a real nerve jangler. But again,
Yeah,
the point more important.
we were just saying, Alex, that Aubameyang did seem lost out there. He didn't have any customer
So,
service, as
yeah.
Mahir said.
Yeah, I wouldn't say he was lost. I think again it was just the supply line. He had I think one chance in the first half that just flew past the right hand post. But yeah, he
Yeah.
was just feeding on scraps, and I kind of got the feeling that Ceballos and Saka they weren't feeding him as much as maybe if it were Willock. I'm not sure, but yeah, he was just feeding off scraps. It wasn't so much he was lost. Again, he was just trying to
Mhm, mhm.
get the ball to make some kind of valid attack on the Bournemouth goal. But like I said, the points are more important really than the performance. So
Yeah.
we go into the national break now in third place.
I just want to let you guys know of something. I just want to apologize for not transporting Xhaka yet. I just haven't had time, guys. Please forgive me.
We have to blame you for that, my here.
Yes, you can put the blame on me. Yeah, you can definitely do that.
Hey, Ghost Ace, thanks for joining us in the chats here. If you got any questions or comments, please leave them. We will address them. Thanks for coming in. And if you haven't
And a
already
clean sheet as
subscribed,
well.
please sign up if you haven't subscribed. We appreciate it.
Oh
Um,
yeah, I mean, fantastic clean sheet. It's just Alex, like we're talking about the dynamism in the midfield, the combinations make so much sense to us. You, Ray, and myself have all said Joe Willock, Ceballos, Torreira. No Xhaka. It's not Xhaka Guendouzi, Torreira Guendouzi.
yeah.
None of those combinations. The combination that works best, you've got Torreira covering the back line. You've got Joe Willock with his enthusiasm and his dynamism, as per se,
Mhm.
energy, passion, heart. I was wishing for a straight swap. The Europa League for the Premier League and the Premier League for the Europa League
Yeah.
games, because just the heart that they were all showing. I mean, once again, we wanted Martinelli over Saka, and you could quite clearly see that all these pieces are missing. He's going with the old heads again. Back to the Mustafi Mustafi Kolasinac. Good to see Chambers though. Superb performance, I must
Yeah,
say.
yeah,
Chambers was my man of the match. I know it was
yeah.
quite difficult to pick out somebody,
Very
but a
difficult.
lot of the time, he was free on the right hand side, and he was waving to the players, pass the ball to me. And sometimes, I mean, when Kolasinac or maybe somebody in the defense, namely Socrates or even Shaka, um, we wonder, look, Chambers he's clear. There's so much space there. Pass the ball to him. But I've got to say, Chambers for me, he played very, very well, very, very well. And I'm not sure when we're going to see Ainsley Maitland-Niles back in the right back position. But again, Chambers was my man of the match.
No
Solid.
thanks, Alex. I personally, you said he's man of the match. I was one of those players that picked up by my eye. I was also thinking to myself, if I was to choose a man of the match, who would it be? Probably Chambers. Because
Hmm.
not only was Chambers defensively solid, did you see the amount of tackles that he was just going in, just clearing the
Yeah,
lines? Just like
yeah,
we're in slight danger. Yeah, I'm not going to even take a slight chance of
yeah,
having Socrates or David Luiz mop up a mistake. So
yeah,
clear. And not only that, running along the lines, almost something almost Tierney-esque. And now we're
yeah.
calling it Tierney-esque because we're excited for him to
We're
be.
excited for Tierney.
Ray, this guy is he's a sick
Yeah.
player to be honest. With you.
My,
He's the
my
left.
here. I mean, the link-up play between Chambers, Pepe, and I know Socrates was on the right-hand side as well. Was absolutely. It was a joy, to
It was a
behold there. I mean,
goal.
again, the understanding there was really good. And I think maybe Pepe, even though he didn't score, really had one of his best games there because he was coming back, trying to tackle, retrieve the ball. But yeah, those three there on the right hand side, it was a really good combination there. And I expect Unai Emery to play those guys a lot more in the future there. But yeah, Chambers for me, man of
Pepe
the
needs
match.
somebody to link up. Pepe needs somebody to link up with Ray and Alex because he said
Yeah,
himself, "I would love to build
yeah,
a partnership, an attacking full of attacking wingback or slash call them a fullback, but somebody that can bring and assist, so I can assist the next person, which
yeah.
is like the was
I was hoping that Guendouzi would have probably played a little bit further forward, but he was like stuck between a rock and a hard place. He was like more defensive minded than more attacking minded, and I think maybe that was maybe the missing link because Ceballos, even though he was like our number 10, he ran all over the
Yep,
pitch there, and
yep.
although he had some link up play, I think you're right, Mahir. Pepe needs that player that he can spark off because he was playing too many times. He had to come back a little bit deep to try and retrieve the ball. So we're losing his attacking nous, if you could say there. But we need to give him time. We need to give Pepe more time. But he had
Yeah.
maybe one of his best games, I think, in red and white of Arsenal.
So leading up to that, leading on from that, Alex, the international break. What players will benefit from that time away?
Tierney, Bellerin,
Mhm.
the players who've been out for a while, injured, Holding. Actually, I thought there was one point where David Lewis went down, and we thought he's really injured, and we're going to bring
Yeah.
on Rob Holding, but it didn't happen. But I think those three players will benefit from the international break. Personally, I don't like the international break, but
Nobody.
why not? It'll give us some time to literally reflect on what's happened over the last few games. Again, Tierney, who I expect to start in the Sheffield Wednesday game. Again, more
Hmm.
time for Bellerin, even though Bellerin doesn't look like he's quite fit yet. But yeah, look, we're in third position. We're in third place with
Yeah.
the international break. What more do we want?
How bad can it be? Third place, and
Yeah,
some people
yeah.
are complaining.
I've seen that. I've seen that. Yeah, I've been seeing some people saying we're only in third place because some of the other teams are not quite good. It's not that the word that they've used there, but I'm happy. I'm happy. We're not in fourth place. We're in third place, one
third
point
place.
behind Man City. One
Yeah,
point
Can
behind.
and
Who would have thought
imagine.
that? Mahir and Ray.
Yeah, yeah.
Crazy.
For you is Alex. For you is the league title over? The title chase over yet? Is it done and dusted?
Um, I don't like to use the 89 rule stick because it's not over until it's really over when the final
Hmm.
whistle has gone. But I think for us, I'm not looking for us to make a charge for the Premier League title this season.
No,
Let's
no.
just try and secure, build on momentum. We were 1 point off last season on top four. Let's secure top four this season and maybe make a charge for it the following season. But yeah, I
Well,
guess in regards to the Premier League title, yeah, it's over for Arsenal, I think.
Do
to
So
any of you
coin
guys go for Banter FCs? Newcastle versus Banter FC?
I'm saying
No.
nothing.
let's move on. Alex, to coin the phrase
My
from
here.
19 to coin the phrase from 1989
My
is
here, you are
second
a
place.
troublemaker, you are.
I love cooking up that trouble, just a little
Let's
bit.
keep it on the straight and narrow here. Let's keep it going.
Yeah.
Alex, the coin of phrase from 1989 is second place up for grabs.
Yeah, why not?
Why
Why
not?
not? Yeah,
Exactly.
I think at some stage in the season we're going to go on a long run. We all know we get frustrated with Unai Emery and the 11 that he picks because he's not picking the 11 that we want him to play. But if we can continue getting results and build up some momentum, you know, yeah, second place or second position might be within our grasp. Why not? Anything can
Exactly.
happen in the Premiership. Anything can
Now,
happen.
Alex, you're speaking about Emery's favorites. I've got a short list of three players here. One of them is warranted in Matteo Guendouzi. I think he's going to be a good talent in the years to come. The other two, maybe not. He seems to be joined at the hip with David Luiz from PSG times and Granit Xhaka. What do you think about those two players and his repetitive nature in picking those in the team?
Yeah, Ray. I think you know my thoughts on Granit Xhaka. I think he's made it even more difficult for himself because he's the chosen one, isn't he? He's the captain,
Hmm.
and as a captain, the captain has to lead by example. He has to be there showing all the other players, this is what the coach or the manager has asked us to do. I'm following that, and you have to follow me. So if you're going to choose a captain like that, how can you drop the captain? You can't drop the captain, can you? Really? You can't.
Well, we have five captains, so you can drop any one of them at any point in time, in theory.
Yeah, but I think with the other captains, the other five captains, Shaka, like you say, with Unai Emery, appears to favour him a lot more than maybe than the other players. But he's made it very difficult for himself. Literally, how can you drop the captain? He's made so many
Ray,
mistakes.
Hmm.
Sorry, Mahir.
Alex, right now we're discussing this. We actually said you can have a captain. I mean, Granit Xhaka was chosen by Lacazette, Aubameyang, the whole team as captain. But you can have him on the bench. What's the problem with that?
Yeah.
If it improves our squad, you can still have him as our main captain. No problem. Put him on the bench. He can still lead. But why not do that? At, it won't be at the detriment as with us because young players will be improving. Young players will be given more of a shot, right? Somebody like Joe Willock. What if you bench Granit Xhaka, Joe Willock comes on and scores a few goals and starts
Mm.
scoring and just goes and hits form? People will
But
be,
the
their
thing
mind
is,
will be blown.
when Unai Emery was asked about why he chose Granit Xhaka, he did say in the press conference that behind the scenes, he is a really good leader. He's a focal point where he's trying to get the players, trying to get them in the right frame of mind. So I guess you're right. It doesn't mean that you have a captain, he has to play all the matches. Granit Xhaka is a squad player at most. He's a
Hmm.
squad player. And now, we've improved the squad on last season. We've got lots of players now who are competing for different places or positions over the pitch. Not one player can say, my position is secure, because
Not
there are
one
other
player.
players competing for that same place there. And Granit Xhaka
And he's doing that
is,
with Ozil as
sorry,
well, Alex. He's doing that with Ozil as well, eh? That's what he's pushing him out. I mean, right now, I wouldn't mind a bit of creativity if Ceballos is not working. Ray, I'm sure you can tell us how you feel as well, because a lot of the times it's very confusing.
So with the Granite Jacket thing, Alex, am I here? I think he carries himself in the dressing room as a captain. He conducts himself around the training ground and at the stadium as a captain. But when he gets on the field, he doesn't have the ability or the mental capacity to deal with the fast pace of the English Premier League and
Ray,
be a captain on
Ray,
the field.
but Ray, what do you want from Granit Xhaka? What do you want from Granit Xhaka? Because
I wanted,
today I saw him talking to the players. He was shouting to the players, remonstrating with the players. So that really, if you want someone who's vocal, trying to organize a team, that's what he does. But
and
what
that's
else does he bring to the table? Do you want him to be, a defensive midfielder? Do you want him to be scoring goals? Do you want him to give assists? What is it we want from Granit Xhaka?
if I was to liken him to a previous Arsenal player, I would like him to play like Mikel Arteta did and keep the midfield moving, keep the ball moving, be that metronome or the heartbeat of the team. Do you think he's capable of doing that?
Yeah, he's not. He's not. He's not.
He's just
He's
not that
not.
player.
No, he's not. As someone to talk to the team, trying to, gear them up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but leading by example, no,
Nah, not
absolutely
at
not.
all.
Alex, do you think that the captaincy will elevate his game to reduce his mistakes?
No, no, no. I'm
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 granted.
sorry,
I'm
Ray. You asked the
granted. I'm
question.
trying to give you
Do,
every
you
help here
know,
at Granite Jacket.
Ray? But the thing is, Ray, the reason why is because today I saw him trying to track back. I think was
Yeah.
probably the first half, and the player was nowhere near him, and he tried to slide tackle, and he missed the player,
Yeah.
and there was no need to slide tackle the player. So there were just fundamental parts of Granit Xhaka's game that you're never going to eliminate.
So
Not
what
even
you're
the
He's
saying,
going, sorry,
Alex,
go
what
on.
you're saying is he's able to talk to the players on the pitch and be a captain verbally on the pitch, but he's not able
Exactly,
to walk the walk.
exactly,
Okay.
exactly, and that's going to be a problem, Ray. Like I said, if I'm saying to my here, please stop jumping in and diving into the players, and I'm doing that. You're supposed to lead by example. How is it I'm doing that, but I'm saying to you, don't do that? You have to lead by
Yeah.
example.
Yeah.
it
You have to lead by
doesn't.
example. Yeah,
Okay. So
no problem.
Alex, this is a question I actually had prepared. What if Xhaka does make another mistake again this season?
Ray, listen. All the players will make mistakes. All of I don't care who you are, from Aubameyang to Leno, Torreira. All the players are going to make mistakes because they're human. They're not robots.
But
Granit
Granit
Xhaka
Xhaka, he
he
has
will make
made
a
more
mistake.
mistakes than any other Premiership player.
Mistake
The stats are
FC.
there. The stats are there, Ray.
Yeah.
And the thing is, this is where Unai Emery will have to earn his salary, because he's the coach. He ultimately decides which players are going to play in the first 11 and which players are going to be benched and which players who will not be part of the main squad. Mesut
Hmm.
Ozil, that's a prime example there.
Yeah.
Mustafi, he wasn't on the bench, was he? He's featured
Do
in
you
the
know,
Europa League, but
Alex? Do you
at
know what
some
he's done?
stage,
Do you know
Mahia?
what he's done with Ozil? Sorry to interrupt, my brother. Do
Hmm.
you know what he's done with Ozil? He's basically said you've lived your comfortable life for way too long, and that's actually something I admire. He said, "No, your comfortable life this fortnight, and chill, doing this and that, doing this and that. Oh, I injured my pinky toe, playing. I don't know, doing something illegal, but." He's literally said, no, your place is not guaranteed, my friend. And if you do not want to do that, we can get rid of you. Which is what he's doing right now.
So Mahia, so do you think Unai Emery is disrespecting Mesut Ozil? Because I saw
Not
a
that.
lot of comments on Twitter saying that Unai Emery is disrespectful to Mesut Ozil. The treatment of Mesut Ozil is terrible. What has Unai Emery done?
I,
We are moving on from Mesut Ozil. There are
Hmm.
no
it's
players
literally
still
done and
comfortable
dusted.
in their position. We're moving on. That's all it is.
And we're moving on simple as. I mean, you can't come into a club, right, and be at a world club, one of the biggest clubs in the world, and have it comfortable and have how many seasons has he been with us? About 7 seasons, 6 seasons,
6 seasons
maybe
now, I
Six
think.
six
seasons.
seasons now.
2013.
How many seasons can you say, wow, Ozil in 20 so and so was
Maybe the first three
yeah.
seasons
Uh,
for me.
At a
Ray,
push, Ray.
I'd have
At a
pushed.
push.
at
Yeah.
a push? Because if I can really honestly think about it, I remember only one season, I think it was 2 years ago, 3 years ago, when he had the most assists. And like that was literally it. That was literally it. Then from there, I mean, Alexis left on a tantrum, snake, whatever you want to call it, and like it's also supposed to be our lunch, our the head honcho basically,
Yeah.
with regards to controlling everything. But you see, London Old School just said Ozil is disrespectful himself. I mean,
Disrespecting Arsenal because of his
disrespectful.
attitude.
You don't give it you all for the badge, my friend. You have to leave. You have to leave on
I
these
think
like
Ozil
flights.
should be no different than Mkhitaryan was treated. Would you say that's a
Yeah.
decent parallel or comparison? You know,
Can I just
Mkhitaryan didn't cut the mustard.
can I just say something very very quickly?
Yeah,
Do you remember with Arsene Wenger? At some stage, when the player would reach the age of 30, he had this policy of only offering them like a 1 year extension.
yep. Did
And
it to Dennis
in
Bergkamp.
yeah, yeah. So in his mind, he was thinking, right. So a player, their value or maybe their skill set or whatever, once they reach the age of 30, we'll automatically offer them a 1 year extension, and maybe after that we'll release them.
Yeah,
So everyone has their sell by date.
Sell by
Nobody
date.
can stay at the top forever. No player, I repeat, no player can play for Arsenal forever. I
hmm,
wish, Tyrion was still playing for Arsenal. I wish Dennis Bergkamp was still playing for Arsenal. I wish
hmm.
Liam Brady was still playing for Arsenal. But everyone has their sell by date. Even Arsene Wenger had his sell by date. Mesut
Uh,
Ozil has his sell by date. Period.
yeah,
We're moving on from Mesut
yeah.
Ozil, and I don't want to turn this into a Mesut Ozil
No,
bashing
no.
session, but
Yeah,
we're moving on. That's all it is.
I think it's the instigator did it again, Alex. It wasn't me. It was the instigator.
Mahir, yeah,
Was it you,
winding
Mahir?
up.
You directed that conversation.
But the thing is, when we talk about Mesut Ozil, it always evokes so much emotion, and I don't personally, Mahir and Ray, I don't know why. He's only a human being.
Hmm.
He's an employee of Arsenal. Okay, he's got this massive wage tag, 350,000 a week. But why does it evoke so much emotion when we talk about Mesut Ozil? I don't get
Yeah.
it. I don't get
Well,
it.
let's since Mahir diverted the conversation this way, I'm going to switch it a little bit.
Yeah.
Alex, are we hopeful that Unai Emery is starting to see the youngsters making an impact, and they came on today with 30 minutes and 27 minutes remaining?
Yeah. I mean,
Martinelli and Willock.
yeah. I mean, even on the tail end of last season, I was saying that um, do we have to really dip into the transfer market because we've got riches of youth players, and thankfully we've got Lundberg as Unai Emery's number two. So we've got that link there that Lundberg can actually tell Unai Emery, look, these guys are coming through. Play these players. Willock, Saka, Nketiah, even though he's out on loan. Martinelli, thank you, Edu.
Thank you,
So yeah,
Edu.
I've got a lot of faith in Unai Emery. Slowly now bringing in these youth players, and the team has to evolve. It has to evolve, but the future's looking bright. Martinelli for
Very,
me is an absolute gem of a player. He's a
yeah.
joy to watch. 18 years of age, guys. 18 years of age, and look how he plays.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
what did you see? What did you see today, Alex, when he came on? Tenacity,
Um,
hunger.
a lot of energy. A lot of energy. Again, closing down the opposition players up front. When we were kind of lost for ideas, and again the crowd was getting on Leno's back because he was trying to play the ball out from the back, and we were saying no, hit it long, and you could see Martinelli saying, "Look, I'm here." So you would see maybe on the highlights that Leno is passing the ball to Martinelli. Martinelli taking responsibility, taking the game by the scruff of its neck, and saying, "Look, I'm here. Pass the ball to me. I can make things happen."
It's a
There's
beautiful
three
thing.
types of people in the world. Yeah. People who
Yeah,
wake up in the morning, and wonder what happened. People who look at things that happen, and people who make things happen. Martinelli is a player who makes things happen.
one
He's like an
million
Alex
percent.
Sanchez kind of player. He will make things happen. But yeah,
Hunger.
the future's bright. The future's bright, man.
Um, what's the competition on the left side looks healthy between Saka and Martinelli.
That's healthy. That's really, really healthy. That
I
we've
think
got
it is.
options again.
Yeah.
Really, really good. Saka,
Uh,
yeah.
Listen, I don't think Pepe's an issue, but should we keep playing him in the team?
Yeah, why not? Why not? I mean, I was quite critical of him on Thursday when he came on. Uh, you would have probably seen the easy talk when we had Andrew with
Yeah.
Richard on Friday, and Andrew was saying, "Well, the thing is, Pepe is
I
not
was
that kind
eating
of
chips,
player."
Alex.
Oh yeah,
I didn't hear a thing. I was eating chips.
not here.
Yeah, I see why I was in around.
I
In
was.
and around.
If you have the opportunity, go over to Cannon Fodder TV and check out me eating chips. Um, yeah, but sign up, subscribe to their channel. Really good over there. Alex does a good job.
Excellent content. We always do love having Alex on our show and all
Thank you
our other
very much.
speakers. So, guys,
Thank
please
you.
go and subscribe to their channels: Cannon Fodder TV, Arsenal TV, our channel as well. We all love supporting each other, and there's always interesting topics, even on international breaks, which is boring. There's always content every week, almost every day on something
Yeah,
that got to
refreshing
enjoy.
stuff. A different angle as well. I know during the summer transfer, Melly, Alex stays out of that and he tries to do different topics. Speak a little bit about that, Alex, especially
Yeah.
in the summer transfer mayhem.
Yeah, again, the first year of Canon for TV, we were like just trying to build up our content, and we did try and do like transfer news, but yeah, I think there's so many content creators out there who can cover transfer news. So we just try and kind of mix it up a little bit, and we just talk about kind of obscure news, but just
Hmm.
try and keep the content flowing. But yeah, you're not going to see us doing any more transfer news unless it's my brother doing
And
something on
Alex, you
California
want to know
TV.
something funny? When
Mm.
before I linked up with Raymond, right, and to all our
Mm.
subscribers as well, I felt as a fan so frustrated at what Wenger was doing, the players he wasn't or were buying, panic buys, and all this. I actually used to go on this website. I don't know, it was a UK website. and they just give the most ridiculous rumors, and it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pages. And guess what? Eventually, it got to a point where what is that? And eventually, what had happened was I got to a point where I just grabbed absolute rubbish rumors, true rumors, and went with it. And guess what? Along came Gundit News. And came from
Okay.
Gundit News? Arsenal fan. We eventually
Circle.
linked up. Arsenal
Yeah.
fan.
Yeah.
And eventually we linked up. Got all of, like, I'm loving absolutely all of this support, the way we support each other. Because if you actually think about it, we're a family.
Yeah.
And that's why we're
Yeah.
growing so quickly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's
Well,
1-0. United have lost today.
One nil to the
We're gonna
Arsenal.
have Alex. Who gets sacked first this season? Not that we like a person to get the sack, but it's part of the job. Who's gonna go first? Pochettino, Solskjaer?
oh my goodness. If I were a betting man, I would probably say Pochettino. There's something not quite right with them lot down the road there. I was speaking to some of the fans today about it, and we reckon maybe it's probably down to player power. Something's happened in the dressing room, and the players don't appear to be playing
Getting
for Pochettino. But again, if I had
oh,
to put my house on it, I'll probably say Pochettino.
Thanks, London Old School, Pochettino. Boots, Texas. Love my Gunner family. Ups and downs, the stresses of matches make us grow together.
thank
And,
Yeah,
and that's what it is. We all feel the same emotions, Alex. That whole stadium feels the same way, right? When you're
yeah,
alongside
yeah.
people there.
I've got to say, actually, on Thursday when I did my post match review after the Stanley Liège game, I did kind of critique the atmosphere in the Emirates on Thursday. But today, the stadium was rocking. It was rocking today. The North Bank, the clock end. Yeah, I mean, we were the 12th man today. We got behind the team. So yeah, to all the
Possibly,
yeah,
possibly buoyed by that Leicester defeat in unfortunate
possibly,
circumstances for them,
possibly.
that we could
Yeah.
jump to third today. All things going well. Um, how excited are you for Tierney to come back into the team? Do you think he comes back in the Sheffield United game, Alex?
I hope so. I hope so. I said,
Two
I was
weeks.
hoping that he would probably get maybe, I'd say maybe 40 minutes today, but he didn't get to come on. But I'm, 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 I'm wishing that he plays at least one half against Sheffield Wednesday on the 20. Is it the 21st? I
yeah.
think it's the 21st, isn't it?
15 days, yeah, 21st.
Yeah, yeah.
And we
So, but
have to
yeah, I
give
mean, yeah,
talking about the summer, Alex, and all the transfer millie. We got to give our boy Mobe Gunner a shout out because he was one of the first people to talk about Tierney.
he
So big up
was.
Mobe Gunner.
I thought maybe he had some kind of inside connection, but yeah, that was a good call on
Well,
Mube.
he could be getting his Hennessy from Glasgow area.
Maybe from South Africa. My here. My here.
There's nothing here, no. Only good classical water. My cousin is Scott Tierney. I mean, it's obvious.
Start
It's
Tierney.
obvious. It's a discussion. Emery, he doesn't need to apply pressure on himself. Bring the
Hmm.
boy, man. We want to see
Yeah,
this beautiful style of play that surely, if Kieran Tierney, Alex, if he can continue his trajectory, right, and continue his run of form, within 2 3 years, I mean, really, we're looking at a world class player. I'm not getting overhyped. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
overhyping
Mm-hmm.
because that's the biggest mistake with a lot of things. For example, this a really weird example, but Alexis Sanchez to United. Oh, we're getting the Arsenal Alexis. What are you, man, saying now? You saying absolutely nothing.
nothing.
Biggest flop. Biggest performance playing glory, glory. on the piano. So let's just get behind the boys,
All right, so
Yeah.
a
and
shout out to
hopefully,
Don Juan. Let's have 60 seconds of laughter for Man
Hey,
United.
on one.
Maybe not 60 seconds, but let's take a moment to laugh at Man United and the Spuds. You know what? If the shoe was on the other foot, we'd be hearing about it now. So let's do it. Uh,
Woo, these
Hey,
guys, man.
Don Juan, that
Oh,
is genuine. That is genuine laughter. It's not fake laughter.
genuine,
We're not politicians
Absolutely.
around
genuine.
here.
Absolutely.
Hey, Alex, I know you have to leave soon.
Hmm.
I'll leave one question, or if you want to stay a bit longer, but one question for you. What's your first choice center back pairing
First choice centre back pairing,
for you?
Holding and Chambers.
Do you know what Una Emery's is? Probably.
No. Does anyone know?
It's probably David Luiz plus Holding. I don't know. What do you think, Mayer?
David Luiz plus Socrates, or Socrates
I really hope
plus
not. I really hope
Mustafi. Did we
not.
forget about?
We have better central defenders than those two.
I mean, really, we know that back line. Just, just swap the teams, please. Europa League,
Yeah.
Premier League, Premier League,
But
Europa
guys,
League.
don't forget as well, we've got Saliba to come in as well next
Saliba,
season.
I was just
So
gonna say to you,
come
Saliba.
on.
So why are we even considering,
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
never, and maybe Dinos can come right also as a centre back, Now, be
Doesn't get
honest.
old, does it?
The whole show is basically that and laughter.
So we do wonder how mad Terry at the football terrace is going right now. Take a moment
Ooh,
at that today.
Ooh.
I'm actually gonna go watch Goldbridge after supper, Goldbridge and chill, because
Oh.
his reactions are the funniest when they melt. So that
Alex,
that to me, I love flaunting those videos. I take them, download them, and then I show them to United supporters. I'm like,
Alex, who's your competition for third and fourth place this year? Who do you see on the horizon? Leicester and Chelsea?
I would say Chelsea for the fact that Lampard has a squad full of youngsters because they've got the transfer bans, and when you've got youngsters, they're hungry, they're fearless. I'll probably Chelsea. I'll say close behind them, Leicester City. Leicester City. Guys, I have to go. I have to go. I have to go. I've got to go. I've got to go.
Thanks so much. Really appreciate
Listen,
You only
it.
have to say that once,
Love
Alex. We got you.
We got you, Holmes. Yeah, buddy.
guys,
Thanks
it's
so
been a
much.
pleasure.
Loved it.
Whoever's watching, make sure you subscribe to our Arsenal fan circle. And by the way, Ray, who's winning now with the channel prediction?
You
Who's
guys
winning?
you're ahead of us like Liverpool is ahead of Chelsea.
Ah, right, okay.
Like
Please.
Liverpool is ahead of City, not Chelsea. Sorry.
Okay. All right, guys.
Yeah, I'll give you an update, but you're quite a few points ahead of us. I think you personally have predicted two of the correct scores
Okay.
this season.
Guys, listen, it's been a pleasure. Up the Arsenal. Take it easy.
Hey, Don Juan, we're going to stick around. Alex is stepping out, but we're going to stick around for a few more minutes. Don Juan, if you want to stay with us. Chelsea improving. Mahir.
Yeah.
You got to be fair. We have to be fair here. And as much as we can
Yeah.
laugh at Manchester United and the other team doing terribly,
No, true.
Frank Lampard right now is doing okay.
Chelsea have a few talents in them. You know, they've got Mason Mount. They've got also youngsters. You know, up and comers. Like we've got Joe Willock. We've got
Another
Martinelli. We've got.
Abrams. There's another Abrams doing good things
Oh
as well.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Tammy,
Your
Tammy, I
namesake.
can't go to work. I can't go to work without hearing from Chelsea, the three Chelsea supporters that come to me like, oh, "Did you see?" I'm like, "Yeah, I know Tammy. I know Tammy very well. It's my cousin."
My cuz Tammy, but fair play to them. They're doing good. They will hit a spot
Mhm.
in the season, right? Chelsea will hit a spot
Yeah.
in the season
Well, to be
where
honest with
they're going
you,
to struggle.
you can't go to any team. You can't go to a Swansea, Bournemouth, Nottingham Forest, Bournemouth, all these places. You can't go to any team and underestimate them because just underestimate them and take them for granted and just Norwich did it, Brighton did it to those who shall not be named. I nearly said the name there. Um, Norwich did it to Man City. I mean, any team can do it to us, Chelsea, Panther FC, those who shall not be named. Anybody can do it to anybody. It's not expected. Results aren't just clear cut.
Yeah, they're not clear cut. Um,
They're not clear cut.
going to Southampton and getting a 4-1 win is a good result.
I mean, I'm not sure who's still in that. I think Leicester will finish above Chelsea. Richard, that's a very good point. Personally, if you ask me, I would have taken Yuri Tillemans. Yuri Tillemans is a talent. We've maybe spoken about him a few times on the podcast. But like really, I would have taken Yuri Tillemans.
So, yeah, we can wrap up things pretty soon here, my here.
Yeah,
Wolves
bro.
today against City, Watford against us. So that just drives home the point that it's not easy to get points in the Premier League anymore. Um, Liverpool, who seem to have all of their lights green for them, and every traffic lights is green for Liverpool right now. But they're going to come up against some difficult teams in the future.
Yep.
City, we should look forward to maybe going after second spot and not look over our shoulders. But we have an international break coming up now. We can all take stock of what's happening. And Don
I
Juan
mean,
has said, I think a fight between Arsenal, Chelsea, Tottenham, and Leicester for third and fourth. Okay. And we should be well in that conversation, my ear.
we should be playing fearlessly, to be honest with you, right? Let
Yeah.
Emery instill this fearless attitude into the players and let the youngsters just go out there and do their thing, do the thing, man.
Do the thing. Hey,
Do the thing.
we'll wrap it up there. There's not a lot more to say. 3 points in the bag for Arsenal. A great weekend for us. Defeats for those who shall not be named. 3-0. A defeat for Man United.
Panther FC.
Banter FC. A defeat for Manchester City. And a defeat for Leicester. All of the teams that we're going to be competing for the top four, have lost points this weekend.
Hopefully, we come back after the international break on our form and get that gap a little bit higher, because you never know who's gonna beat those teams who we're competing with, like this week.
Let's talk about this really quickly. Boots, Texas, has said against Liverpool in the Carabao Cup. Now, they were not kicked out of the Cup for fielding an ineligible player. They just got a slap on the wrist with a fine. So we will play Liverpool toward the end of this month in the Carabao Cup. No fear. We should have some of the younger players in there against
Yes,
Liverpool's young
bro.
players. Liverpool will
Europa
not
League.
Liverpool will not field the first team. You're not going to see Salah, Firmino, and Mane all together in that team. So that should be really interesting for me. I'm looking
My
forward to
question is,
I'm looking forward to a question of the future. Can our young players compete with their young players?
I think so. I trust him. You know my thoughts.
Yeah, yeah. I was looking back at a game, and London Old School will remember this as well. It was before 1989, before we went to Anfield and did what we did in 1989. We actually played Liverpool in the League Cup, and we played them hard. We actually drew 1-1 at Anfield with David Rocastle scoring a great goal. And I believe
Correct.
looking back on that recently in the last few weeks, I believe that was where that team got that inner strength and inner knowledge to know that they could go to Anfield and win 2-0 with that George Graham team. So London Old School will remember that fondly. We played Liverpool hard at Anfield in November. We drew 1-1. I think John Barnes scored a goal. It was a young Arsenal team. And later that season, we went and won the league at Anfield. So we can measure ourselves up against Liverpool in the future with that game. That'll be very, very interesting to see. Don Juan said Liverpool should have been kicked out. I agree with that. You field an eligible player. That's that's what should happen. London Old School, throw the youngsters in for that game. Absolutely agree. Let's see what our youngsters can do against their youngsters. It'll be a great,
Exactly.
valuable experience in the Carabao Cup for them.
Of course.
City have lost 6 points, and them 6 points, I think, have costed City the title. I agree with that in the sense I know it's very, very early, but I cannot see Manchester City winning the league. I can only see Liverpool winning the league at this point.
But this point last season, or I mean, at the end of last season, Liverpool looked like they were going to take it. It was like 10 points clear of City, and the comeback was mighty. We were 12 points ahead of Manchester United, Panther FC, and we all
They
saw
came
what
back very
happened. The
close. Yeah. Um,
capitulation was mighty.
are we sensing another ice bucket challenge between you and me, Mahir?
I need to take the first one. I need to take the first one tonight
Yeah, but
because
last year I took Manchester City and you took Liverpool. You want to switch around?
this time the day will be much more extreme. It will be something mad, like I have to shave my eyebrows. In which case, I'll shave my eyebrows now so they grow back by the end of the season. I'll be emotionless, so you won't be able to tell whether I'm confused, whether I'm happy or anything. London Old School, like he said, I was even whispering it in my voice. I remember it well. Rocky is an Arsenal legend. Rocky
Yeah.
Rocastle,
He
absolute
scored a
legend.
great goal in 1988, November or October before we faced Liverpool at Anfield. Um, no, but Mahir, the Ice Bucket Challenge. Are you taking Manchester City this year?
To be honest with you, it's going to be an ice bucket challenge. I don't think so. I need to take the first one. This time, I think it will have to be something more
To
extreme.
tell the new viewers and new subscribers what happened last year
Okay, guys, I chose Liverpool. I was confident. Blah, 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 blah.
in December.
And Ray said to me, listen here, City are definitely winning the league. And I was like, okay, but I'm going to choose Liverpool because it's a challenge. Otherwise, if I also said City and like we would be going nowhere. And I lost out very badly. Yes, I apologize to my host that I haven't taken the challenge. But this challenge will be taken, and there is consequences if we do have to take a second challenge as well, something more extreme. So, Ray,
Oh,
now you
okay.
have it on video.
Well,
Now you
listen,
do have it on video.
I'll let you pick
This,
between Liverpool or City, whoever you want. Whoever you want. You think City will win? The only way City win is if Liverpool hit a stretch of bad luck with injuries and unforeseen events. Very true.
that's also maybe I'll have to go with let's go with the same squad and then lose again for the second time. Die rate for forfeit. That's a brilliant suggestion. That is actually
You would actually look like Freddie Lundberg a little bit with the red hair.
I feel flattered.
London Old
But
School.
you know,
I don't think that's a good look for me. London Old School. It's not a good look for me. I think Mahir could carry that off a bit better than me.
that would be really damn interesting because actually, if I think about it, Liverpool don't want to risk injury in the cup. Yeah, that's the reason why they'll be playing youngsters. But like I say, guys, we've had an intense show tonight. We discussed everything. Ray, fantastic. We had, unfortunately, one of our subscribers, Usman, came on. He was having very bad technical difficulties. Hopefully, we'll have him on the show very
Yeah,
soon.
yeah.
If not next week, if not in the week of the international, whenever it is. But Alex was on, guys, so that was also fantastic. I mean, we always have banter, good, genuine, guys, genuine hearty laughs. You know those healthy laughs that come from here that you're like, oh, that was so good.
London Old School. You're terrible.
It doesn't suit you, right?
I'm gonna ask the wife after I get off this podcast what she thinks, but I don't
Yeah.
think she'd be up for it. London Old School. Yeah, listen, Don Juan, I completely agree with you. I don't want those Scousers to win it, but I think we have to look at a immovable object here. Jurgen Klopp has a good team there, and they're going to do it. I think it's going to be unbearable. But they won the Europe, you won the the Champions League, so it is what it is, right?
Yeah. That's the only thing that they don't have. I think they may grasp onto this and give us worse banter, but it's really not as bad as the original. You know, the team I always make. I made Alex laugh earlier. I made you laugh. You guys were in tears when I said it because I kept mentioning it and I kept mentioning it, and eventually we all picked up on one thing, and it's still to me it's not as unbearable as United supporters because one last thing, yeah, one last thing I want to say that is I've never seen somebody get physically angry with you like you done something to them because we played them. I went into work and guess what? You robbed us. You robbed us. I'm like, my guy, are you blind? Did you actually see the goal? Did you actually see that the linesman was wrong? And that VAR was correct, and it wasn't by like a toenail or a foot, or it was way miles on side. The goal that the
Wait, what?
Bamiyang scored. So
At the moment the Bamiyang scored when? Oh, Man United, of course. Not
yeah,
even
against
close.
the same. But
Not even close.
they were physically Ray, they were physically angry with me. Like I messed up doing a job for them that they asked me to do, and I messed up so bad that the boss called them. It was under those types. I was like, just walk away, please. I can't deal with this. I couldn't deal with the stupidity. I just walked away. And every time they saw me, they looked at me like this. You know? I was like, my guy, that's not affecting you. You're actually behaving like a total idiot. So
So I actually think,
carry on.
Matt here, I actually think that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will get fired before Pochettino.
Yeah, me
That's my
too. But
personal
Allegri
opinion.
is not going to change anything.
Uh,
Pochettino is not going to change anything. It's going to be the same. Do you
I don't
understand?
really. I how do you rate Allegri as a good coach?
Yes, I do. I wanted him at Arsenal. Wanted him at our club. But the problem is bringing in a new coach when you've already got a coach that's trying to rebuild, right? Even though
Hmm.
it isn't working, I don't have to be ruthless. You see it not working, see it not working, you have to fire them, get a new coach. But the whole everything else changes. We've discussed it. New players are in the squad. Don't care if you're new. You leave. Bye. You deadwood. I don't want you. Money. Are you gonna give me money? Backing up. Arsenal fans can Gundit News. What made you support Arsenal?
You go
Um,
first.
I supported Arsenal because as a youngin, I wasn't watching much football. But when I got up to about 17, 18, which is around 2007, 2008, And I watched individual players. I watched, like, I supported Brazil, I supported Barcelona a little bit, but individual players. And my cousin said to me one day, I was sick and tired of hearing all my family members yapping and yapping and yapping and yapping to support United. Well, they mostly support Liverpool, but United was the one that I got irritated with. And my dad was a big United supporter. So guess what I did? I totally switched it on everybody. I joined my cousin and he said, "Here's your shirt, bro. Put this on." And I
Mhm.
just fell in love with it. I mean, there's a cannon on the chest, there's legends, there's beautiful football, there's, yeah, basically everything. That's the story, guys. And ever since then, I've been supporting Arsenal.
Okay, so my story is growing up in Ireland, everybody supported Liverpool. So as a young kid, not knowing anything about football at all, I supported Liverpool as a 7 year old. Before when I got some sense, I started to see this young George Graham team growing and building in 1986, I think it might have been. Um, a team with players like Tony Adams, Kenny Sansom was still in the team, Viv Anderson, um, David O'Leary, who was instructing Tony Adams and probably made Tony Adams a lot of the player that he is right now. I think David O'Leary had a big impact on Tony Adams. Of supporting that team with Michael Thomas, David Rocastle, Paul Merson came into the team at that point, and they were going really, really well in the league. I think they were first up until around the new year, and they fell away a little bit. But that's the team I fell in love with. That was Arsenal, and we haven't looked back since. It's been a great, great 30 some years or whatever it is watching Arsenal. We've had our famines, and I believe between 1971, when I was born, which was also a good year for Arsenal, winning the first double for the club, until 1989. There was a famine of 18 years without winning the title. We're close to getting to that point now, my year. From 2004, we won the title back in 2004, and now it's 2019, 15 years on. Hopefully, I'm hoping in the next 2 or 3 years we can build a team that can challenge for the league. I think it's coming close. We just need to get ourselves sorted out at the back. What do you think? Are you hopeful for the next few years? What do you think, Gundit News, the next few years holds for Arsenal?
Look, future's looking very bright. Um, you know, I really appreciate the support of round one that you guys have that you joined us and become part of the family. Basically, I think our young players have the potential in them to really build our squad to be back to what we were. Um, I mean, we're still a much loved club, one of the biggest loved clubs in the world. To be honest with you, right around the world, and yeah, it's looking very bright, man. Like, I'm loving what I'm seeing right now. I'm loving the passion, and I just want him to continue on with this form. Most of our players are very young, if you actually think about it. Kieran Tierney, Rob Holding, Callum Chambers is a little bit better. Um, I mean, Martinelli, Willock, Reese Nelson, all these players are up and coming, and I can't wait to see what they'll be doing in 2 or 3 years' time.
Yeah,
You know?
Boots. I think Boots started supporting Arsenal about the same time as me. It was before Arsene Wenger. It was probably George Graham team fighting with United in the early 90s when they were coming out of it. Don Juan, same Arsenal fan circle. I live in London, and Liverpool FC was the dominant force in the 80s. Likely my dad was a gooner. I think lucky my dad took me to Selhurst Park to watch Wimbledon versus Arsenal. I think that was the beginning of the season. One of the first games of the season, I think it was 5-1. I remember that distinctly, Don Juan. The first game of the season, we went away to Wimbledon and won 5-1. Paul Merson getting one of the goals. Since then, I've loved Arsenal and could relate to fighting odds and holding your own and being proud. Good stuff. Rumpelstil, Rumble, Rumple Foreskin. Love the name, actually. Gotta say. Do you think we will get top four? Yes. I
I'm
think we
confident.
could get as high as second place. I think we can get as low as fourth place. I would be very, very disappointed if we get below fourth place. Um, Mahir, if we get below fourth place, I think there needs to be a managerial or a coach change.
I mean, we gave him the first year 13
Where do you think
tax
we
free
finish? Right? Where do you think we finish, Mahir?
second.
Second.
I didn't even flinch when I said second
Love the
because
optimism because Manchester City, they Manchester City are surely going to go out and buy someone in January, right?
um you know what? I say second. I say second, but it could possibly be third. I
No, I,
don't honestly want
I
to be fourth.
definitely I agree with you.
Minimal is fourth, but it's basically to get into the Champions League. And right now, if we continue this form with the youngsters, with the old heads, everybody pushing their weight, I can see us finish in second place.
Yeah,
To be
yeah.
honest with you, second or third, one of the two.
Okay, guys. Thanks for everybody coming in. If you have not subscribed already, you like the content, it's free. Just hit the subscribe button down below. Notifications. Leave us in your subscribed channels. We're growing. I like to say we're growing organically, Matt here. We started
Yeah.
last December. Love to hit around 200, 250 by the end of the year. December 23rd will be our anniversary. Um, so if you're new around here, hit that subscriber button. This has been a great week, Matt here. All of our rivals have lost games, lost ground, and we have gained a hard fought 1-0 win thanks to David Luiz's header. Who would have thought we'd be thankful to David Luiz for winning a game for us?
That's the shocker. That's the shocker to end it all.
Sideshow Bob gets us 3 points. And look, we're going to
But as
support the players on the pitch. We support the players. One more time. 1-0. 1-0 to
to
the
the
Arsenal. 1-0 to the Arsenal. 1-0 to Newcastle. 1-0 to Newcastle.
fantastic. Yeah.
Join us once again on a podcast coming to you very, very soon. This has been the 8th episode of our second season. We love all of the support, everyone coming in and joining us. Old subscribers, new subscribers, love you all, and we will see you again soon. We almost got to 90 minutes, my here. We're out of here.
Wow.
1-0 to the
Guys,
Arsenal on one. Take care.
come on. You.
Come
Take
on, you
care.
Gooners. Take care, guys.